Hallo liebe Abonnenten und alle übrigen David Icke-Fans. Ich habe einige Impressionen aus der Worldwide Wake-Up Tour von ihm zusammengesucht und zusammengetragen und ich hoffe, euch gefällt das.
Welcome back to the show. Now, would you pay more than $100 to sit for 12 hours and listen to a man who claims the world is run by lizard aliens?
Well, that's not all. Former British TV sports presenter David Icke is telling the audience on his Aussie tour that he believes the moon is a gigantic spacecraft and 9/11 was a conspiracy theory. David joins us now. David, good morning to you.
Good morning. You know why they're doing it? Because they've got a mind of their own and they've taken the self-respect to look at the detail and then think, that makes some sense, I'm going to know more. That's why. They're intelligent people.
Man on fire, man on fire, man on fire, needs to breathe, yeah, yeah, yeah. Man on fire, needs to breathe,
This is, an example. They cannot absorb that. They cannot absorb that because they're not in that frequency band. They can absorb that because that's in the frequency band. So life is not unconnected. At every level, it's fundamentally connected, despite what we're told. And to see this picture, we have to answer these questions, and we'll go through all of them as the day unfolds. Where are we being taken? How are we being taken there? Who is taking us there? And why are we being taken there? And let's start with where. Where is this world going? Where is it being systematically taken? It's to this. And you're going to see this symbol, this picture, many times through section 1. Because this is the cement that holds together a vast array of apparently completely unconnected subjects. The idea is to have all the control and all the wealth in the hands of, it says the 1%, actually it's less than 1% of the world population. To have the masses, including those today who think they're doing well and are okay financially, etc., at the bottom of the pyramid, in total dependency on the less than 1%. And in between the two, to hold that status quo, a merciless, vicious police military state actually, to impose the will of the few on everyone else. And when I talk about that picture, that what I call that Hunger Games society they want, I'm not talking about sometime over the rainbow, sometime in some distant future. I'm talking about the fact that it's unfolding before our eyes so blatantly now.
Wake Up Tour 2017. Please welcome to the stage your compere who will give you details of the day, Mr. Richie Allen.
Good morning, everybody. You're well. Welcome to the O2 Apollo Theatre in the great city of Manchester. We're here for the beginning of the 2017 leg of David Icke's worldwide wake-up tour. I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm sure you are as well. Just a couple of quick do's and don'ts that we've got to get through before we move on. Obviously, no smoking inside the building in the arena. No filming, please. We would ask you to respect the no filming rule. You can, of course, take photographs, but please don't use flash, because it will distract David greatly. And one thing that's important, if you do leave the arena for anything, for heaven's sake, don't leave any belongings behind you. Don't do that. So the way the day is going to go today is it's in 4 sections. So section 1 will be 3 hours, followed by a 1-hour break. Section 2 will be 2 hours. There will be a 30-minute break then. Section 3, again 3 hours, with a 30-minute break afterwards. And the final section is 1 hour and 30 minutes long. Just before we hear from Gareth, I just want to, I'll never get a chance to do this again, give a massive thank you to David Icke from everybody who's ever written an article or ever made a video that he's shared through the pages of davidicke.com. He's amazing. I think he's only beginning to enter his prime, and I think he's going to do his best work, I think, in the next 10 to 15 years. He's an extraordinary guy, a selfish guy. I love the man, and I'm thrilled to be here today, as I'm sure you are as well. He's coming out in a couple of minutes, but before he does, please do me a favour. Be upstanding, give a proper Manchester welcome, raise the roof for the amazing, the brilliant, and the fiendishly handsome Gareth Icke. Come on!
and with the band.
David Icke was born in Leicester, England on April 29, 1952, and he was clearly very pleased to be here. His was a working class background in post-war England. He felt from an early age that he was here to do something, although he didn't know what. He thought at first that it was to be a footballer, a love throughout his childhood that led him to play as a professional throughout his teenage years until arthritis ended his career. He went on to be a journalist and BBC presenter, becoming a well-known face on British television for many years. He was also a national spokesman for the British Green Party in the 1980s, before the day his life was to change forever. For a year throughout 1989, he felt a presence around him. When he was alone, he felt that something else was always there, and it became ever more tangible. This led him to a professional psychic, Betty Shine, to see if she would pick up what was happening to him. He told her nothing about his experience, but she said that a presence was communicating to him through her. She said David was going out on a world stage to reveal great secrets. One man communicated the message. She said he was in enormous opposition. They would always be there to friend. David's life became an amazing journey of synchronicity, leading him to people, documents, information, and personal experiences that gave him the puzzle pieces to reveal what is really happening in the world behind the smokescreen of lies, suppression, and manipulation. The journey took him to Peru, where incredible experiences followed, including a download of information on a hill close to a sacred Inca site, recreated here on a return visit in 2012, which involved him standing unable to move in a powerful electromagnetic field of an hour. His life then changed dramatically yet again. For 3 months after that experience, David said he was lost in a bewildered daze. Such was the impact of the massive energetic information download that he was struggling to process. He said it was like a computer freezing with too many keys pressed too quickly. In that same period, he appeared on a primetime BBC television chat show to talk about what had happened, and it led to mass public and media ridicule on a scale ongoing year after year that few will ever have experienced. It was historic in its intensity.
The audience tonight, but just let me say this. They're laughing at you. They're not laughing with you. It's fine.
In the face of that enormous backlash, David thought his life was over, but it had only just begun. 3 months after the Peru experience, he says everything morphed back into clarity, and while he appeared to friends to be the old David again, he wasn't. Suddenly he could see the world in a way that he had not before. In his words, he could see beyond the program that holds humanity in often unknowing servitude. He has crisscrossed the world over and over and written a stream of books that have proved to be extraordinarily accurate in predicting world events and the direction of human society. The man that they said was bad is now at the cutting edge of exposing the human plight, lifting the veil on all that has been kept from us. As David once said, today's mighty oak is just yesterday's nut that held its ground. Prepare for a day you will never forget. Ladies and gentlemen, David Icke.